Face your enemy again. We take the steps straight to outrage hate, to sever our minds out of control. To not be kept tonight, this battle we fight. It's time to bring a change under control. 17 years of going strong, back to back, face to face. Didn't need it then, don't need it now. Our body's strong, no broken chains. We stand tall, always proud, scream it out, scream it loud. Find a crew, fuck the world, win a grow, fuck your world. Now it's time to make amends. We're here to make our friends.
What's up, brothers and sisters from New Zealand? I'm Mike Crucified from Only Edit Counts and Spider Crew. So get ready for the Vienna style hardcore interview. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, first I want to give you a little walking tour. Vienna, the suburbs, the 21st district, the place where I fucking grew up. Come with me, let's take a step. That's how it looks like a few blocks away where I live. I was born and raised in Vienna in 1976, which means I'm 43 years old, motherfuckers. And I'm still here. I'm happy. I love living in Vienna. It's a fucking great city. I have all my friends here, and I gotta stay till the end, motherfuckers. I'm at the old Danube now, which is some kind of lake. Very green, like you see. A lot of restaurants, bars here. In the summertime it's beautiful. You can sit outside, have a few beers, hang out with your friends, just have a good time, you know. And very green. You can go swimming here. Just enjoy yourself and have a good time. Okay, I would say let's go back to my apartment and start with the interview. See ya! Alright, welcome guys to my apartment where we do the interview tonight. I'm ready for the questions and I hope you guys enjoy my answers.
And when you got into the hardcore, what local bands were around at that time?
I came into the hardcore, it was like 91, 92, yeah. And there wasn't a real scene back then. There was a punk scene at clubs at like Arena and HcxCxWxW house, which was more like a political place, like a squad actually. And yeah, there were the places for punk rock. There was a little bit of a metal scene for the bigger bands, but we never got that attention to come to the real metal scene. I got into the hardcore through a record shop that was called Why Not, where I met an older guy called Günther, who introduced me to the first punk rock and hardcore records, which was all on vinyl. And I remember when I got yeah, The Age of Quarrel from Chromax, and that was like a groundbreaking start for me.
Please tell us, how did you meet Sean?
I met Sean in Vienna in a pub. We both were introduced to each other by a tattoo artist. His name is Siri. This guy brought Sean to Vienna because they both met in New York City at a tattoo convention and became friends. And so Sean was invited to come to Vienna and stay with the guy for a time. And yeah, knowing that there is a hardcore scene, this guy Siri and his best friend Bola had the idea to bring us together, and so we were introduced to each other and started talking about hardcore music, and found out very quick that we have the same ideas and same ideals about this music, and it was a fucking great talk from the first moment on, and yeah, we felt there is something special between us, yeah.
And how was there any point? Why did you start a band together?
Why did we start a band together? Spider Crew was already like a project going on just for a few months, and we had one singer. His name was Jürgen. He isn't in the band anymore, and I thought it could be a cool thing to bring Sean and Jürgen together, so like a like a double singer thing, and yeah, so we said. I invited Sean for a practice, and we started with the first 2 or 3 songs, and yeah, that was the moment. And we really thought about, okay, why we should give it a try, you know, record a demo tape and stuff, and yeah. Then I sent it to Ice Cream Records on a Chromac actually, and he gave it to Lawrence from Ice Cream Records, and they signed us to put out the first EP. That's how Spider Crew started.
Now that the talking is over, and there's something more to say, take this advice, run for your life, or you're a victim of anger inside.
For the youth of New Zealand, can you please describe the Vienna hardcore scene?
The Vienna hardcore scene isn't the biggest on the planet, we all know about that, but we have a very strong and united scene, and I guess that's a result a result that came out of the history and the long existence of the scene. So because the scene started maybe in the first time we used the term Vienna style hardcore was around in 1995. On the OEC record Continue the Fight, which was also the first album we ever put out with OEC. And from that moment on, there was building up new bands around this Vienna style thing. So in 1999 we put out a compilation called Vienna Style, showing you what's up. That was like the first period of Vienna style hardcore, you know. This was with bands like Sense of Justice. Everybody should check out those guys, still around, still great. Other bands on the compilation were Bust the Chain, Strength of Life, Proud of Ignorance, later on Perfect Sky named. So this was a very special thing, and a very small but very united scene. And this was like the first chapter, and over the years there came more and more bands. And yeah, for today I have to name Companion, I have to name Live Life, and also Low Life is also a great band. Jimmy is doing very good stuff. And yeah, it's always growing and it's fucking alive.
So do you think it's important to support your local scene?
100%, yeah. If you don't support your local scene, your scene will die. You know, it's the most important thing, that people stick together, look out for each other. Yeah, mean everything true to say, and don't lie behind each other's back. Just give it 100%, and you will get it back. That's hardcore, you know.
Can you tell the New Zealand youth something about to do something similar? Can you tell them to do something?
You know, I think everybody has to find its own way, but sure, the whole thing like Vienna style hardcore will work out on every other fucking place on the earth. So if people stick together and have something to fight for, then it's a great and amazing thing. And I wish you all the best. Keep the scene tight, be united, and yeah, keep hardcore alive.
Do you think the influences of different cultures are important in the Vienna style hardcore? Because I know there are some guys from Serbia, USA, from all over the world included to the Vienna style hardcore.
I think that's a good question. I think Vienna style hardcore is like a pool, you know, for people, that even coming from different countries together, because they all search for the same thing, you know, they search for loyalty, for some special dedication, and that's what we all bring together. That's why we have people like Kim coming from Sweden, traveling to Vienna. We have Sean from now California, before New York, or Eric, who also comes from New Jersey. And and also here in Vienna we have people from Croatia, from Bosnia, Vasco, Loris from Croatia, and so it's a mixture. We'll bring all the people, or all the people come together and put some positive energy in and create Vienna style hardcore.
Do you prefer crazy people, or is it something what life brings up that crazy people meet always?
I think I prefer crazy people. Because crazy people have a crazy heart, and that's a good thing. Because, craziness is not, it's more about being true than just being, but I think it's good. Still crazy, but not insane.
But isn't that something special in the Vienna style family, that there are also crazy people? Doesn't it make fun?
It makes more fun with crazy people, I think, yeah. And the craziness makes a big part of our music, for sure. It's not easy to deal with it always, especially on tour, or also during songwriting, because it gets more difficult to deal with all those characters. But the craziness is a big part, and should be always a big part of Vienna style hardcore.
I see Sean travels back and forward from California to tour with Spider Crew in Europe. There is some dedication. How important is it to give your bands 100% dedication? In other words, to say, what keeps Spider Crew so motivated after all those years?
Yeah, it's true. Sean is the one guy who has to travel the most, because he lives on nowadays in California, and California to Vienna is fucking far distance, so he has to make a long way to come to Vienna. And it's also true that, especially for Spider Crew, we need him. I mean, not only depending on touring, we need him to write a record, we need him for the whole thing going on, sometimes to party, also that is a big part of the family here. But it takes a lot of dedication to do all those things, and the reality is hardcore music ain't a big business, and which I love, because if it would be a big business, it wouldn't be the same anymore. But for sure, you have costs, and somehow you have to deal with all those things, you know. And you have to pay a bus. You have you need a driver. You need gas money, flights for Sean. All those things have to be, somebody has to take care of, and that only works with dedication. And that's what keeps us going is the fire. The fire. We love the music. We love playing shows. We love recording. We love it all, you know. And without this fire, it wouldn't be possible.
Make amends, my friends. It never stops and the bullshit never ends. Make amends, my friends. That's how it goes, and it finally ends. Make amends.
fan of Spider Crew, I was pissed off when Wolfdown spread lies about the band. Can you tell us a little bit about the beef with Wolfdown and their false accusations?
Yeah, Wolfdown was a band, or still is a band, from Germany, and a more political kind of hardcore band, I would say. And both bands were invited to play on the May 1st at the GOTHIC stage in Kreuzberg in Berlin, in Oranienstrasse, which is really a great option because the street is filled with people. It's fucking amazing. You have this outside stage and everybody goes crazy. A lot of crazy people there, so it's like a great party. Yeah? And we were really happy to do that. Also, Chromex were on the bill. It was also a reason why I would have loved to play together. And then these guys started out making bad accusations. They just named us a right-wing white power band or whatever, which is ridiculous. Everybody that knows about Spider Crew and the history knows where we come from, what kind of people we have in the band, what lyrics we have, you know, and yeah, they blew up this bullshit story against us. And even that I did a statement, an official, because GOTHIC asked me to do that. In the end, we lost the spot and couldn't play the show. And for sure, that made us somehow angry and pissed because we didn't really understand why. Because we don't have to do anything with these things that they put in our mouths.
And can you tell us what happened after that? Because there was something with Wolfdown after that. Can you tell us about this?
Yeah, I mean, I heard a lot of things. I wasn't there, to be true, for sure. But, you know, the band quit, and the main reason what I heard was that the girl who was the singer of the band, she was sexually harassed, I think is the right word, from her own bandmates. And that should have happened a lot of times even before. So it's really strange if you're in a political hardcore band and just scream for you know, for free women and all those things, and be strong, and then things happen, you know, like this, like a joke. And yeah, then the band blew up and everything cleaned or solved each other's by itself, you know. So yeah, that's what happened.
Do you think it's important within the scene not to talk shit about other people and other bands?
For sure, it's a small hardcore, and punk is like a small subculture, and if people even in the small scenes are not able to work together and be different than society, because there was always a plan of hardcore being different than society, there's something wrong, I think. And you know, I never met any guys of Wolfdown personally, and the right thing would have been if they came face to face to us and asked us about our political attitude and things like this. But they just made bad publicity, and yeah, they just tried to destroy us or tried to fuck us up.
Yeah, can you tell us a little bit about the diss track you made for Wolfdown?
Yeah, I mean, we were angry or pissed after the whole thing going down, and that we couldn't play the show. So Sean came up with the idea to make a special diss track on on the last record. Sounds of Hatred is the album. I have it here. You guys should really order this one. We got it on vinyl, for sure on CD. And yeah, the track number 11, it's No Approach. And this song is about those guys from Wolfdown. And it tells the story, it tells the whole truth. And I think it's also a funny song, you know, because Sean took some very smart but also funny words. Yeah, I'm happy that is on our last Spinal Cord album, Sounds of Hatred so far. You can order it, Cortex Records or What the Fuck Records, they put out this record, so good shit.
17 years of going strong, back to back, face to face. Didn't need it then, don't need it now. Our body's strong, no fucking change. We stand tall, always proud, scream it out, scream it out. Spider crew, fuck the world, win a girl, fucking walls. We don't need you. You know, you think you fucking learn and live in life, but you never learn.
Mike, you're not playing only in Spider Crew, as I see you're currently in 4 bands. Can you please tell us a little bit about the 4 bands? Except Spider Crew, you told us.
Yeah, it's not 4 active bands, but over the years I've played in 4 bands. And the main band was always only Attitude Counts. It's like my baby, because I started the band in 1993, which is really a long time ago. And the hardcore world was different back then. I have some good memories about starting, like when we did the first demo tape and everything, you know, very long ago. And did the first EP that we recorded by our own and sent around, shipped it around, and yeah, then we got signed by Lost and Found Records in 1995, which was one of the biggest European hardcore labels back then. And yeah, that put out the name for us. And that's how the band got bigger, you know, in the mid of the 90s, because a lot of European bands were on Lost and Found Records in those days, like Rikers, Backfire. Also, a lot of New York hardcore bands made releases on Lost and Found Records, so it was really a good time for us. And short after the We Stand As One EP, we released our first album called Continue the Fight. And yeah, that's how OAC started, and we did so many stuff over the years. Almost the End is the latest release we put out with only Attitude Counts, and it's a very, very special record to me personally, because there are so many European friends that were made over the years that are on this record as guest vocalists. We have our brothers from Rikers, Chris and Dennis. We have Mike from Punisher Black from Berlin. We have Alex from Last Hope from Bulgaria. We have Krumpa from Deafness by Noise, my Croatian brother. Yeah, last but not least, don't forget, there is Damiano from Payback from Rome. There is my friend Lol from Crewing Movement, also from Germany. There's my brother Micha from Anticops. And also one very special guy that is featured on this record is Stefan from Full Speed Ahead, a band that doesn't exist anymore, from Germany, from East Germany, from Leipzig, but they were always fucking on the top. And I'm really happy to have all those guys on one record, so it's like a European hardcore family thing. I gotta show you how the record looks, just short. And yeah, I'm really happy about that record. You should check it out and enjoy this unity feeling on it. And yeah, that's it. Another thing we lately released is a split 7-inch with our brothers from the heart, from Rotterdam, from the Netherlands. Also very great collector item, I would say, you know. Vinyl is always very special. We didn't do so many vinyl releases with OSC. Triumph of the Underdogs was released on vinyl. Our 10-year anniversary record, Never Accept Defeat, was also released on vinyl back then on Vinyl Chunky Records from Germany. And we made a split record with Anticops called Monsters of Hardcore. That was the main vinyl releases from Only Attitude Counts. But in the near future, you guys will get some re-releases and also on vinyl. So, because many people ask me about putting out Continue the Fight and Point of No Return on vinyl, and that's we are working on these releases. So, just take some time. But they will be available again. Yeah, that's it. And the other two bands that I'm not active in, they were never really laid to rest. But there is the one band called Tiger Blood, which we put out one album on Demons Run Amok called Positive Force in a Negative World. This was more like a little bit of a metal hardcore project somehow, a hardcore band. And there is, or was, Buster Chain. Yeah, it's Eric from Butts again. I can't. The singer, I mean, yeah, Eric. He went back to America, and that's why we don't do anything anymore at the time. But maybe if he comes back, we have the chance to play a show or something like this. Yeah, it's definitely a commitment. It's hardcore music. From the first day that I came into it, I always wanted to be active. I always tried to unite people, tried even to unite different scenes, you know, because in Austria, maybe 95, 96, there was a better straight-edge scene, and I always tried to bring people together, but it's not easy. And sometimes it doesn't work, but Vienna style is the thing where it all came together.
Shaw told me that the Vienna scene is like a family. There is a page on Facebook called Vienna Style Hardcore with a list of bands in the Vienna family. Can you tell us about how important is brotherhood or sisterhood in the scene, and what is that makes the Vienna crew so close?
What makes the Vienna crew so close? I guess it's the long history somehow, the roots we all have together. Yeah, the past, the present, and the future, because we're all fighting together for a good future for our scene, and this makes us very close and strong because we have dreams we want to reach together, you know. And, so yeah, brotherhood and sisterhood is a very important thing for us with all those bands we have in the scene nowadays. I can really say that they all do it from the heart, really from the heart, you know. Like my brother's companion, just a bunch of guys that really are dedicated. They try to help whatever they can do, like studio things, technical things, music-wise things. It's like we did a video, or Daniel from Companion did a video for us, so 2 videos actually. So it's really great if you have creative guys in the scene, you know. This is like the compilation that started the Vienna style movement, I would say. It was in 1999, and the bands that are featured on this one is Only Attitude Counts, Proud of Ignorance, Strength of Life, Buster Chain, Sense of Justice, you know, and this gave birth to a very united scene, I would say. I mean, these bands started all like 96, 97, but in 1999 we were on the peak. Is that the right word? We reached the best point for this period of Vienna Style Hardcore. You know. We did a compilation, and yeah, there are still people looking for that compilation, but it's hard to find, really hard to find, because only 500 pieces were printed, and it's like a collector item nowadays.
Are there any current hardcore bands the youth of New Zealand should look out for?
Current hardcore bands, worldwide or in Vienna, I mean, there are a lot of great upcoming bands, or also bands that already have a bigger name out. I mean, if you come into hardcore and you have your favorite bands, that will never change. But from time to time, there are some acts and new bands that you really appreciate because they do some things different. And one of those bands, I would say, is Turnstile. That I really like. Not everything on Turnstile. Some elements are kind of too modern for me, but I like the band as a band because it's great. It's a great music-wise, great guys, and also from the show, very much energy and very dedicated and down-to-earth guys. So I would say Turnstile is one of those bands that I can really dig.
What are the top 10 bands or albums that have influenced you the most since you discovered hardcore?
That's a very difficult question. I mean, it always depends on at what point of time you get a special record and what memories and everything belong to that moment. I would say I came over a lot of punk records. So one of the most influential records would be from SFA, The New Morality. This is a record that I really appreciated and still appreciate. And also from Yuppie side, Shinebox. These are two records that are really got me into the punk hardcore feeling. And the very special thing about those two bands is also that they have really smart lyrics, you know. There are coming a lot of bands from Wreck Age Records and Don Fury Productions, which I have a lot of respect. A little bit later I got into the whole youth crew thing, so I have to name Youth of Today, We're Not in This Alone. Sure, I have to name Agnostic Front, Victim in Pain, and Warzone. After all, I love Rabies and Warzone, so fucking great.
All it is, that's how it used to be. All it is, we'll bring it back, you'll see. Step it up, close it on, scream it out, no more. You fought in the streets, restless wanting something free. All it is, the kids will have to see.
Can you tell us something about the song All Ages and the background of what you mean with that?
All Ages is one of the new songs we have from the brand new record called Almost the End, and which is it has a very important meaning to me personally. All Ages always meant about not locking the new kids out and build up walls, It was always about different generations and trying to unite and bring people together. You know, this OH slogan came from back from the US, when kids, I guess, from the age of 16 or 18 or to 18 were not allowed to drink, and the bars or the clubs where the shows happened, there you could drink. So there was always the problem that the new kids got locked out of the shows because they weren't allowed to drink. You know, even if you wouldn't like to drink, they had no chance to come in. And so it's about locking people out and locking new blood out. So I think it's very important to put down these barriers and let people in and yeah, unite the scene with young and old people and bring all those wisdom together. You know.
Do it yourself. Can you explain what this means to you, and having a do-it-yourself attitude, how has it helped over the years?
Yeah, I think DIY is one of the very important things in hardcore, because that makes a big difference to the outside world, to what you see when you turn on TV, when you turn on the radio, because there you get all that well-produced shit, I say, without any big ideals behind. And DIY, do it yourself, I mean, that's a commitment, you know, because it starts with writing songs on your own, record on your own, tour on your own, release a record on your own. And that's mainly one of the basics in hardcore music, you know. And it brings a lot of spirit, because if you put that in, the energy and everything in it, it's a strong thing. D.I.Y.
Do you think it's something about being independent?
Yeah, for sure. It's some way also of being independent, but normally it's also, if you start a hardcore band, you won't get a big deal normally, and won't be on the biggest tour booking agency or whatever. So everything starts in a small way. And, but I have a lot of respect if bands keep it that way, because that says a lot about them, you know. Because even if you have a bigger name and you still book shows on your own, or make merchandise on your own, so it's a very, I think, a very positive thing if you keep the power in your hands. Huh?
Yeah, anything you want to add?
Anything I want to add? Yeah, I want to add all my good memories that I have over all those years with people that also aren't no longer around with us, like some special shout-outs to Richie Backfire, who was a really great guy, and on a Chromac, who always supported us and always gave his best and heart when nobody trusted in us and nobody gave a shit about Vienna style hardcore. Guys like this, like on a Chromac, Richie Backfire, they always took our backs and were there for us. And last but not least, this one goes out to Rabies and Warzone. I'm happy what we all built together, what Vienna style hardcore built together over all those years. All those bands, all the people that came together. It's really, I think, a great achievement, and it's also very nice to hear it from the outside world, that this thing of ours is respected and people look up to us, not in a bad way, but I mean, have respect and have a good feeling what we did over all those years from 1993 till 2019. Hardcore lives. At the end, I want to give some shoutouts to Gareth and New Zealand past and present. Thanks for the interview. Hope you enjoy it. Have a good time. Hardcore lives.
You think you are the better one, but in your brain, you're a fool. You know nothing about our scene. So shut up. So shut up now. Don't wanna hear a fucking word from you scumbags.